Oh, good thing I got the vacuum, but I can see mouse crap up there, all down here. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to be. Okay, hello homesteaders, preppers, and preppersteaders. I'm actually filming the intro for this that I started yesterday. The camera malfunctioned at the beginning, so I'm gonna go right into the barndominium, how it is no longer a hot mess, it is a cooler mess because it is spray foamed in here and I'm starting to work on here, and I'll get into that right now. It's not so much a hot mess anymore, it's not so hot in here, which is good. As you saw in the last video I did, I was getting like between 135 to 140 degrees on the roof, and then the foam itself on the roof was about 95 degrees. I mean, that's a huge temperature differential. And now in here, I'm going to show you some data on this. I've been tracking, just to give you perspective, the solar battery room is right over there behind that wall. I don't know if you can maybe see over here, there's this wall. So what I've been doing though is I have a Govee little temperature sensor that's in there, and this little device calculates data and just tracks it. And I have it set to capture every hour. I'm trying to get the data a little bit more precise. And what I've been doing, and what's interesting, this wall right here was not really insulated very good, and around the top there were some gaps. So I left that room insulated with regular fiberglass bad insulation, and what's really interesting, and I was averaging 110 degrees in there, in that room. And what's interesting is when I took the insulation out so they can come here and spray foam, the temperature was almost the same in there, 110 average. And then, as you will see, and I'll put the overlay on here, it's been averaging like 85 in there since. No matter the hot day, cold day, it's just kind of, it's been staying that temperature, so, which is pretty cool. The average in there now is like 85, which is great. I don't even have the mini split on in here yet. And my goal was to keep the power room at about 80 degrees. And that is now has happened. And on really, hot, humid days, I'm assuming I can put the mini split on and keep, temperature controlled. The good thing is the solar inverter generates some heat, and it keeps the air in there pretty dry. It's almost like one of those heating golden rods you put like in your gun safe. It keeps the humidity level really low. So it's always been 50% in there, which is nice. Still got a lot of work to do. So this monstrosity here, this room, it is still going to be taken out of here. That is the goal. I'm still, as you can see, I took down some rungs because these were 16 footers going across here, and I'm not that big, and when I walked up onto that loft area, the whole floor was flexing, and it's just built really bad. We'll go show you a little bit more of that right now. Okay, as you can see, I don't know if you can't really see too good though, but it's gridded up here really poorly, and I need to bring this back to about here, and I'm going to make a little closet right here and hide the bathroom. The wall on the bathroom that was here when we bought the property is not square. So it goes at a bit of an angle to the rest of the building. So I'm going to build a closet wall right here across this, and then kind of hide that mistake, and then chop all this ceiling off out of here and get rid of this mess right here. I had the the spray foam trying to get done, and it was in a hurry, get this cleaned up as much as possible. The big problem I'm running into right now is, I don't know if you can see it, I've got that small mini split right there, and here's the back side of it. It runs down this wall and outside. I don't want this wall here. This wall is going to go. Unfortunately, I disconnected the power from this. I don't know enough about mini splits. I need to, apparently the coolant line is pressurized. So in order for me to disconnect it now, I need to get power to it, get somebody here that knows what they're doing, run the coolant back into the pump, and then disconnect the lines, and then move it. I'm going to measure it. I haven't done it yet, but possibly this length, it looks too short as it is. I can just visually see now it's not going to do what I thought I could do. What I thought I could do was move it behind me right here, because I need to board this up. This was just a vehicle door. I don't know what they were going to, like originally what they had planned for here. I need to actually frame this in and just insulate it and cover it up and be done with it. But I thought I could move the mini split here, because on the other side of this wall is the workshop. And looking at that now, that it's just not long enough. It would maybe make it to, I could maybe get it to here if I could bend the lines, and I just, where that's at, it's just not what we need. Because as you can see, this needs to come out, this whole wall needs to come out. This pretty much, the only thing that's going to stay standing is the bathroom back there. So got a lot to do in here. I did add some more lights, as you can see up there. Not sure if this is getting me up here, but it feels about 10 degrees warmer up here. But I added some lights. They're just some cheap LED lights that you can string together just to give some working space up here. The ceiling, closed cell foam, it's very rigid. Like, it's tough. This is all going to be gone. It'll be open concept in here. I'm probably going to leave the ceiling just the way it is, and then all this will be gone. We'll have the bathroom over there. This can be a flex space. We'll put a guest bed in here, so if somebody wants to stay here, they can. The bathroom, I'm getting the water line hooked back up and getting a plumber here to help install a new water line distribution system, so I can split the water line for the spigot in the back, the water heater to go to the bathroom, so the sink has hot water, and then also the shower has hot water. And that's really all we're going to do in here. We're not going to put a full kitchen in here. Our plan is if anybody is staying here, it's going to be friends or family, and we'll cook for them in the house. We'll put a microwave in here, you know, just a fridge in here, small fridge, and probably that's going to really be it. It is going to be, you know, not a sexy, you know, wonderful looking place. It's just going to be a nice flexible space that I can use, you know, when it's really hot out, we can put our gym equipment into here, because I've had them on our screen porch and it's just been too hot. So I can do pull-ups in here, I can do dips. We've got an elliptical machine that's in storage. We can bring it, put it into here. We can use this for the surplus business. I can use it as storage. I can use it for a space to put and display the surplus, so when I have locals who need something, they can come here and, you know, shop here. You know, I'm a prepper. Half of you are preppers that watch this channel. You know, the end of the world happens, you know, all the family members that are like, we're going to your place. Well, where would they stay? Well, we have a huge bunkhouse now, technically, you know. This could be the bunkhouse. We could fit a lot of people in here. And, you know, we have the bathroom in here, and then the bathroom in the main house. And then we have the mini cabin. You know, we have lots of, you know, space to sleep people. So, as the one FedEx or UPS driver said, he goes, oh, your place looks like a compound. Yeah, so I thought it was funny. So, oh, I'll show you this. I'm not sure if it's gonna, hold on, okay, you can see above me now, that's the big mini split. When we had the mini split installed in the pantry, the guy that installed it for us, he tested this for me for free. You know, he came in here and looked at everything. He said, that is good to go. I gotta just, I've got plastic over it now from when they spray foam. I need to go up there, vacuum out the filter, and make sure, you know, dust this place so there's not a lot of dust, and then just run it. And then he said to clean the filter once a month. but probably the first month, probably weekly or daily, just because there's some dust in here. So I will do that, and then this place will be, I'm probably gonna keep it just like set to like 80 degrees or something like that, because it's probably 80 in here. I don't know, it's probably 90 degrees outside, and it's maybe 70 something, 80 degrees in here. And it's comfortable. Like, I'm not sweating really. I'm not, you know, it used to be when I would come in here, it was just unbearable in here. I couldn't even go up that staircase right there. It was just so hot. Now it's like, it's not bad. It's actually, I go outside, it's hotter. So that's the main thing. It's cooler than outside. So that's the big thing. It'll be nice to get these stairs and all this stuff out of there. I'm probably gonna leave that there temporarily just so I can have access to some of the ceiling sections and do some work up there. But where the bathroom is above there, there's gonna be a little loft. And I'm still deciding if I'm gonna put the water heater up there above the loft and kind of box that all in maybe, or just have it exposed, because, you know, it's not it's not gonna be like a Better Homes and Gardens featured place, you know. We are gonna probably put some pine or something on the walls just to make it look a little nicer. And the ceiling's gonna be left as is, but, you know, make the walls a little bit more homey feeling. But I'll show you, like, just so you know what I've got to do right now. So like down here, this is just tons of dust and debris. I got to vacuum out all this. A lot of these, there's nails and staples on all these that I got to pull out with little debris of leftover fiberglass. Got to get all that out. And then we're going to put some type of pine or some pine boards or something over it. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with these because they're going to be kind of a pain in the butt to, I don't really want to box these in because they taper out. So I'd have to, you know, we're not sure what we're going to do. I still have the old chimney from the old water heater that was in here. So that's the other problem. Do I move the water heater over there and leave this and plug this up? And we don't know if we're going to do, we have a propane tank here, but we don't know if we're going to do propane or do electric. This isn't going to be used all the time, so the majority of the time the water heater is going to probably be turned off. We're on solar. We have more or less free electricity, so electric one makes sense to me, but don't know. So, and you can see right here, what a mess. These are the lines going into the bathroom. The plumber, I'm going to have to work with him. Ideally, if you're going to do spray foam, you know, do it like the first thing, or have all your wiring, everything done exactly how you want it, because now the way the order we did this and the way things were done, we didn't build this building, we're just fixing problems. A lot of the wiring is in the spray foam, like it's in there for good. So some of the stuff, if I need to run new lines, I'm probably going to run it up high where we're going to have the transition meet to the ceiling, and there will be a gap from the ceiling to the walls where I'm not going to run paneling or anything. So there might be some wiring exposed and things like that. But it's, like I said, this is more of a flex space that people can stay in here if needed, but it's not going to be, you know, like Better Homes and Gardens, you know, beautiful. We don't know yet what we're going to do for a floor. We don't, you know, we want a bathroom, shower, which is 75% done. And then, you know, I got to move all these hoses too, because this whole wall and this overhang is going to be gone. So this stuff's just got to move. But the temperature's not too bad. Like I said, it's comfortable in here to work. A lot of garbage. I'm still determining if I'm going to go take a trailer load of garbage to town, or our town does not have rentals for dumpsters. I can get one from one of the neighboring cities. It's going to cost a little bit, but our local dump pays you pay by the yard. So I got to figure out the cost if it's just cheaper to get a dumpster, because I'm going to have a lot of stuff like this thing. The sink is literally full of mouse crap, unfortunately. Like there's just mouse crap everywhere. So part of me is like, oh, this is, you know, this could I could resurface this, toss the top, clean it up a bit, use it as a workbench, which I may, because, yeah, the bottom's a little stained and dirty, but as a workbench, it would be pretty good. So may keep this wooden thing. And you know, I got to get rid of all this insulation. I've got piles of insulation everywhere. We're keeping all this wood, and then I'll show you what's going on in the last space. Well, before I get to there, this is the workshop, and it's just so quiet in here now. It's so weird. This used to be so noisy in here, like the building creaked. You'd hear like all the acorns hitting the roof, everything. But this space, I've got undercover here, a 1,200-gallon tank. I need to put a hole through the wall somewhere. I haven't determined yet. Hook it up to the gutters, and I've got a big project there. And then just cleaning up in here. Okay, we're gonna go into the power room. I've got an exhaust fan running in here. I'm gonna shut it off. Okay, so in this room, as you can see, I've already measured these walls. This room's gonna be storage, and as you can see, it goes, you know, pretty far back. I got to get rid of all this insulation. I don't know where I'm going to put it. It's just taking up a lot of space. But in here, I'm going to put either 1/2-inch plywood or something. On the walls, that's a little sturdy, so I can put shelves in here. These walls over here, they're not going to have anything on it. But this side will probably have shelves. And this is going to be storage right here. And as you can see, like this side, there's a lot of spray foam on the walls, so I got to do some cleaning of this, and there's some splatter over here. I got to take a scraper and clean all this because it's going to be just storage, so it's not a big deal. Okay, now we're in the solar power room. This room's kind of the same thing. This back wall back here, I'm probably going to do drywall, and then I'll do drywall here just because I have some, and lithium batteries, you know, there's the potential for fire. Realistically, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, they use this type of battery in the space shuttle when that program was active, and it's used in pretty much a lot of different things. But I plan on putting like our other like electric chainsaw, things like that, the chargers into here, keeping it all in one location. Because this wall's metal, this wall will be either drywall or metal, just to keep it a little bit of a barrier, you know. But I can show you right now what the temperature is in here, which is pretty cool. So I have that app. I have to go to it. Now one thing, no, I shut the fan off in here. I have it open to the main area there, but it is warmer in here than it is out there. So I'm guessing, I think I said I thought it was like in the 80s in there. It's probably more like in the 70s. So I go to the app on here for the Govee, and I'll show you what the device looks like. It's just a little thing you just hang up. You put a AAA battery into it and just hang it up wherever you want it. And I just set it right in here. Okay. I don't know if you can read this now, but it is 89.1 degrees in there by the thing, 53% humidity, and then you can see the temperature has gone up today. So, and then I'll do this. So so it has gone up to 88 today. But here's the cool part. I'll go to month, and you can see this first section is when this wasn't insulated. And then you can see the end of the month. I'll condense it even more because I've been doing a lot of data. So you can see this little section down there. This is from, let's see, June. This is from June to August right there. So you can see that's when we had the spray foam installed. You can see the difference in the temperature. And I probably could switch it so it's not tracking it every hour. I could, but I like to have real good data like that. And it's pretty interesting because you can see that it made a huge difference. A huge difference. And I have one of these installed in our storm shelter. I have it in our attic, in our barndominium, the main barndominium. I've got one in a lot of different places just so I can keep track of the temperature swings, and things like that. So This is pretty cool. Like, this just shows the big difference of what the spray foam did without even turning on the heating or air conditioning system. Like, it's just pretty awesome. So that's pretty much this space in a nutshell. This is going to be just some storage. You know, I've got some Pelican cases that I'm probably going to keep it, you know, just some things in here, but ceiling I'm just going to leave as is. Keeping open space around this. I'm probably going to pack up some of the little solar items from the install. They're just spare parts, cat cables, extra cables for adding more batteries, because there's a potential we may add some more batteries, double the amount we have, and then that is it. So, and I will be doing a video on the solar system. We've had it for about a year now here. So for those of you that are still thinking about solar, it'll be helpful. Kind of like this is for anybody thinking about spray foam, just to see the difference. So the spray foam is a pretty good barrier, and it takes a lot to go through it. So I'm hoping it's a good barrier, keeps things out, keeps the bugs out. I sprayed for bugs in here too. I haven't really seen anything scary. Haven't seen a snake in here. Haven't seen really anything in here. So it's kind of good, because sometimes the bugs will eat the peanut butter off the traps, and they're not set. You know, but the peanut butter's gone. So I keep an eye on here all the time. Okay, we're back on day 2. Right now, I've got the mini split running. It is in the 90s outside. I've got it set to 65 in here, but it's probably 70 in here. A lot of work going on. Got the mini split running. When I did this mini split, I pulled out the filters, and I'll show you these filters. They were disgusting. Like, I've never seen mini split filters so dirty in my life. And then I took medical wipes, like bleach, disinfectant, and wiped down the whole body of that thing. I mean, it was disgusting. It took me a long time to clean it out, but believe it or not, when I pulled the filters out, the actual internal inside of it was clean. The filters do work, and cleaned those up really good, vacuumed them out, hosed them out. I mean, they were just disgusting. I've never seen mini split filters that dirty in my life. And started doing that. I've got behind me this whole wall back here. I've literally been pulling, it had that wood paneling on there that I think you saw it in the earlier segment. And then, hold on, in between not even 16 inches, they were all spaced differently. These little furring strips were put in there over the silver material. I got to take a look at the studs. We're going to rip this off. We're going to see this together in a minute. And then I got to show you this though. There was 3 of these. 3 of these. Okay. There were 3 of these furring strips that were the full length. But here's the fun part. They weren't long enough, so they just made them longer. And they were like this when I pulled them out. I mean, look at this. A gap in there. It's... Okay, I'm going to rip this down now. Okay, kind of what I expected. We've got a mouse nest, a little mousy nest everywhere. Down here, this whole bottom section, mouse nest, everywhere. Yowza. Okay, I was not expecting it to be this bad and this disgusting back in here, but then again I was, because this is how the whole building was. So what's really interesting though is these are not 2x4s. The wall over there are 2x4s. These are trimmed down, and I'm gonna have to I need to build it out to 4 inches or whatever on 16 on center, because the other wall down there is 2x4s, and it sticks out further than this wall. So I don't want this wall to be like this and then the next wall to be stuck out further. So, oh, good thing I got the vacuum, but I can see mouse crap up there, all down here. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to be, yeah, this is, that's pretty disgusting. The good thing is it's comfortable temperature in here, but yeah, but I'll still, I've got all this mess behind me. I haven't even started. I got to get this, some of that insulation, I need to go through it. Any of it that looks good, that doesn't have mice tunnels in it and mice poop in it, I will keep it because I need to insulate this wall because it's going to be more for soundproofing, because right on the other side of this, right here, is our solar batteries. And it's a metal wall. Possibly I can use some furring strips on this to get it to the right thickness as a 2x4. And so I don't have to like redo everything. But if you look right here, you have to cut out for these metal notches. And they're kind of all over like that. So we got a bit of a hot mess going on in here. Good thing you got the Starlink hooked up right there. If you can even see it. Yeah, it's right here on this wall. Got Starlink. I am going to be installing, probably in this building too, I just ordered one for the office, cell phone booster. When we had that Starlink outage, we lost Starlink and my wife needed to work, so she had to go outside and use her hotspot on her phone and her laptop to log into a meeting, but she was outside and it was like 90 something degrees outside. We had no signal inside the buildings. You know, we've got a metal roof. So I just ordered a WeBoost out of pocket. No, company wants to send me another one. I need one for this building, test it out. But I bought a WeBoost because everybody said that's the best affordable, you know, they're not cheap, but we'll see how it works. I did their app, went outside, you know, found out where the antenna, the cell tower is. It's not in the direction I thought it was. One way is AT&T, the other way is Verizon. I could see the AT&T one sometimes. I didn't even know there's a Verizon one the other direction, like northeast of us. So that'll be interesting. I'm gonna show you the progress in here and then I'm gonna call it. Okay, we'll walk through here. Temperature is much better since I've got the AC going, but it's still warm here. I've got that fan. Okay. Okay, as you can see, I started drywalling in here. There was, when we bought the property, there was like 6 sheets of drywall in the other workshop area. Unfortunately, like all of them, every edge is either broken, it's got mold on it from being submerged in water, so I had to trim off and amputate a lot of it, and I was able to get some pieces that are usable, but this piece was actually one piece, but I had to cut it because I'll show you this. So this metal electric box, the wires are coming through there, so there's a conduit right there, and because this sticks out so far, I couldn't bend the piece in. I couldn't, you know, get it in there, so I had to cut it in half. But I got to do some cleanup in here too. There's some spray foam. I put plastic over this, but it wasn't, I didn't do the greatest job apparently. And, you know, our Solark is working great. We're using a lot more power though, because I have this mini split on. Literally every single mini split on the property is running constantly right now because it's in the 90s. So I can show you really quick. I had Pandora on. I wish I could play the music that I normally, like I was gonna video myself cleaning up in here and, you know, doing all that, but working in here, but I've always got Pandora blasting and I can't pay for the music because it's expensive because it's copyrighted. I use royalty-free music that has a never-ending free license on it. So a lot of the music, I was listening to Pandora, the Smiths station. So the Smiths, The Cure, New Order, all the 80s synth pop. So I was jamming out to. So, okay. So right now you can see we're almost at full capacity. Our capacity is 14.17, we're 10, almost 11. And then This is the interesting part though. So we're normally, our idle when in the winter time, things like that, when we're not running, you know, like the fall, we're like at 500 watts, like that's our idle. But then when you have like the mini splits, the refrigerator, everything working at once, like right now, this is what we're bringing in, this yellow. So we're at like almost 1100 watts. We're selling back 5300 watts right now. But we are using 5200 watts right now, which is a lot for us. We're normally at like 1500 to 2000. This mini split on this building it draws a lot. So in the future, possibly that may be an upgrade. Right now it's not, because I'm gonna run it hard and cold during the daytime like this when I have free energy. And then at nighttime when I'm on battery, I'm gonna just turn this thing down so it just doesn't kick on, and then just kick it right back on in the morning. So yeah, I was not expecting that power usage to go up that much with the mini split in here, but it's a big mini split, it's a big building. So, but then again, it literally has not cycled down. Normally like on an 80 degree, low 90 degree day, they're kind of cycling on, cycling off, cycling on. This thing has been on, it hasn't shut off once. It's really comfortable in here, like I said, but all of our mini splits are running like that though. So it's not just this one. So literally all of them are on right now. This one, the studio, the house, and the pantry. So we have 4 of them running right now, which is pretty good to be all running off of solar. I mean, you can probably hear the hum of everything. The batteries are topped off. Everything's just, we're producing power. And I will do another video on solar. I know I had a lot of people that said it really wasn't the best video, didn't really explain things, but the inverter is literally the brains of the solar system. So what this does is it's kind of like I just said, the brains. It's the brain. So think of the solar panels as food. That's your food. You're eating like right now the solar system is just eating up sun. It's going to the batteries, which is the stomach. That's where you're storing all that energy. Stomach and fat, that's your batteries. And then the load on the system is like the work I'm doing. And then, probably can explain it much better than this, but this controls it all. So this is taking the energy from the sun, putting it to use on our load, our working load, the lights, the mini splits, you know, all the work we're doing, taking the excess, putting it into our reserves, our batteries, our fat storage, or, you know, just, and then anything extra, it's selling back, because we are tied to the grid, so we can sell back energy, because we're producing more right now than we're using. So, like I said, the batteries have been topped off probably since this morning, and we've just been selling back. So I'll do a better video and try to explain it much better though, but good system requires good installation, but it needs a well thought out inverter, good batteries, good panels, good everything. But I did my search for inverter first because I wanted, you know, an EMP hardened inverter. I wanted to be able to use whatever batteries I want, whatever panels, and this is a hybrid inverter, and we have what is called a hybrid system. We have solar with battery backup, off on grid. I can go flip a switch outside, we're completely off grid, disconnected from the grid. I flip a switch, we're on the grid, and we sell back power. What's nice about that versus a completely off the grid system is if I need to work on something on this system, I can shut this off, flip the switches, and the house is still powered by the grid. You know, and we have credit built up with the electric company because we build up credit with them, and we could either cash out or just use the credit. So it's good to just have the credit for now. In case I need to shut this off like I did the other day when we spray foamed in here. I had to shut this all off because I had to cover this up. But yeah, I'll do a better video on that because this is a whole thing. But oh, and I did it yesterday without the AC running, but I'll do it right now. I'll show you what the temperature is in here. Even with the space over there conditioned, I've got the door open and a fan trying to get some air in here. It is warmer in here, in this room. It is, I'll show you right now. So we are at 85 degrees, but we're at 35% humidity, which is pretty crazy. And really not much has changed. You can see it's gone down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, we got to work on this space. We have that other mini split. I actually contacted the guy that installed the mini split on our pantry. We are thinking about moving that second mini split into this space here and putting it in here just to help cool this down, because this space is its own second conditioned space. I mean, here, look, I'm going to flip this around that way. I mean, you can see it's just a long tunnel and it's just insulated, but there's not, besides that one door, there's no air coming into here from the other space. And I guess I could get some more fans, but the easiest thing is to put another mini split over here. It's a small one, and that one would literally just, I would probably set it so it really does not get over 80 degrees in here. I would set it for 80 degrees, just so it kicks on, kicks off, you know, just keeps this space, you know, cooler. So I'll leave it at that. Until next time, thanks again, and I'll be working on this project for a long time. But at least now it's conditioned in here and it's not horrible, like I said. It doesn't feel that hot in here. It's probably because the humidity is so low. It is pretty bad outside. So, okay, thanks again, and bye. Big camera. I'm still waiting for the temperature of my water to be perfect. It's still warming up. I'm gonna end it there. Thanks. Like and subscribe. I gotta support this shirt because it was a gift. I love it. I do. So thanks again.